In this video, we're going to learn how to sell your cards in Please Buy Me and make those sweet, sweet Robux. This is part of a complete video series on the Roblox game Please Buy Me. In the last two videos, we talked about what Please Buy Me is and how it works, as well as how to set up your stall and game passes. So if you haven't already checked those videos out, then make sure you go there first. So unless you just like walking around and admiring other people's cards, you're not going to have much fun in Please Buy Me if you aren't able to sell cards and earn Robux to buy higher fame cards. Everybody makes it sound so easy, but when you try it, you find that it isn't easy at all, unless you know how to play smart. So how exactly do you play smart? The first tip is to sell your cards at realistic prices. I know it's tempting to jump into the game and set your prices to 1,000 Robux or more, hoping that some big YouTuber will come along and buy your cards. Anything is possible, of course, but keep in mind that even if that does happen to people, everybody in this game has a limited number of cards that they can hold in their collection. So unless they spend Robux to increase their collection size, chances are most people are going to be picky about which cards to buy. Remember that unless you are holding on to cards in your collection because you think they're cool, you will want to sell off the cards you buy so that you can make your original investment back and more. No one wants to get stuck with cards they can't sell, and I don't see the developers adding an ability to delete cards because of the way the game works with card serial numbers. What I would suggest, if you have zero fame or low fame, is to start by selling your less rare serial cards, like your number 30 card and higher, for between 6 and 25 Robux. Honestly, 25 might be too much unless you have a really good avatar. I've gotten decent fame cards for 25 Robux, so I never buy cards with 0 to 500 fame for 25 Robux, to be honest. Once you start getting your fame above 500, you can start slowly increasing the price based on how well your cards are selling. Don't raise it too fast though. Always think about it from the buyer's perspective. Once you get over 1,000 fame, things will start to get a little easier. You'll also have several of your own cards out in the wild and other people will start selling them for you, hopefully, which will also increase your fame. Second thing that you should do is give yourself a boost. Getting that first sale and even the first few sales can be tricky, so whatever you can do to give yourself an advantage will be helpful. Talk to people and swap cards to mutually boost each other's fame. This works especially well with your friends. If you don't have any friends that play the game, then make friends and help each other out. If you have a card that looks cool but just doesn't have that much fame, and you like someone else's card but they're in the same situation, then sell your card to them for 6 to 10 Robux and buy their card for the same amount. Then turn around and sell each other's cards for 20 or 25. If you can afford to swap cards for higher, then definitely do that. The more Robux that you can trade cards with, the better your fame will be and the person who you're swapping with also. Just make sure that it's someone you trust. The next thing is to have a good balance between actively playing the game and being AFK. There are a lot of people who say, do not AFK in this game. I actually had, a couple of comments where people said that. And honestly, to a certain extent, I wouldn't listen to them for two reasons. The first reason is that if you're able to actively play the game, then absolutely do it. You should be walking around and engaging with people, looking at people's cards, checking chat to see if anybody is looking to negotiate on your cards, and server hopping regularly. That's what makes this game fun. So yes, if you are able to play, then don't AFK. But if you're doing something that keeps you away from the game, like going out to dinner, hanging out with your friends, or whatever it is, and you are able to AFK in the game, then why not do that? You may or may not sell your cards while AFK, but if you don't AFK while you're not playing, you're missing out on that extra exposure. I AFK regularly in the game when I'm working or not at home. I'm sure you guys have seen me. If you come across me in game, I'm standing on top of my stand or whatever, and I'm, just AFK. Sometimes I don't sell anything, but other times I come back and I've sold a couple of cards. Other times I'll be partially AFK, but I will have my computer in front of me while I'm doing other things like reading or watching YouTube. If I see somebody buy a card, I'll thank them and then go back to doing what I was doing before. Or if I see the server that I'm in is not getting any interest, then I'll server hop. To be honest, I don't really care if someone is AFK or not, personally. This isn't please donate. If I want a card because I know I can resell it, then what do I care if you're around or not? Sure, it's nice to hear someone appreciate that you bought a card, but I'm not buying the card because I want to make somebody happy most of the time. I'm buying it because it's a good value card and I know I can resell it for higher given some time. The next thing is to put some effort into your presentation. I go over this in detail in my do's and don'ts video, but to summarize, do the following. Make sure you invest in a decent card skin and stall. Would you be attracted to the basic starter stall or one of the nicer looking, more noticeable stalls? This one is less important in my opinion because if I'm on a server, I'm going to look at every stall regardless of what it looks like. But it definitely helps if people are deciding who to check out based on the stall. Also, make sure your avatar is as interesting as you can make it within your means. Lastly, your stall message should be eye-catching and should make people want to look at your cards. Tell people why they should come to your booth. Are you famous? Do you have high fame cards for good prices or super rare cards? Are you running out of your own cards? Are you streaming? Whatever the reason is, think about what makes you stop to look at a stall and apply the same logic to your stall also. I'll drop more selling tips in the future, but this should be more than enough to get you started in making Robux in Please Buy Me. In the next video, we're going to be looking at how to buy other people's cards and how you can tell if you're getting a good deal or not. Drop a like and subscribe if you want to see more Please Buy Me content. See you in the next one.